Sister, you know, have to hide it. You know, have to hide it. You know, and when you hide it, and you hide, it's going to explode. We don't want to hear say we lose one because, no. Mm-mm. So I want you to know, globally, that's the statistics, and in Jamaica, we are not exempt. Because based on the data from Ministry of Health and Wellness, 2016, please, we can't find no more recent data than this. 1 in 7 persons in Jamaica land below struggle with depression. So may I say no, around 20 already in here, praise the name of Jesus. But now, point, yeah, we just want you to know, say, yeah. At least, just want you to know that at least 3 of us in here either struggling with depression, has struggled with depression, or may struggle with depression. And I can tell you, I have been diagnosed with depression. And we're going to talk about that going through. And look at me today. And I tell you, it look nice, don't we? Started to look good, don't Jesus. Oh, you look funny, what you said, no? And if you sit up on it and never see help, who's there today? Who's there to share? Alright, you follow me now? Bless the name of Jesus. So, what do you think causes mental health issues? What do cause mental health issues? I put you in the piano. Anybody want to give me a go? Yes, sister. Issues of life, situation. Thank you, kindly. Bless you. Stress was tough, sister. I'm going to tell you. Right, yeah. And guess what? And everybody have Jesus can call I was. Can you imagine all that struggle? All right. Yes. Oh, anybody else? Yes, sir. Let's just, I think this is that. All right, let's go through these quickly. Oh, this is a video I want to play. Let's see. All right, let's see if you can hear this.
Depends largely on whether it is able to operate at full capacity. So the machine malfunctions, the fastest way to find out what's wrong is to look under the hood. Certain parts of the brain, in fact, recognize what is the amygdala. It regulates emotions such as anger, pleasure, and fear. Is what triggers your fight or flight response. The hippocampus is the memory bank. It stores and reports facts and events throughout your life. Together, these two work to translate how we react to and express our emotions. The hippocampus marks specific events that trigger strong emotions, and the hippocampus keeps them as long-term memories. It's why you vividly remember the anxiety of your first day in kindergarten, or the joy of getting your first ever pet. Studies have found that these two parts were smaller in people with depression, and while the healthy brain shows more activity, scans reveal reduced activity in a depressed brain. Scientists believe that the severe stress that people with depression go through disrupts the communication between brain cells. The brain has approximately 86 billion messengers called neurons that talk to each other by firing chemical signals. And there's a thin line that separates the risks and benefits. Many scientists believe that the several mental illnesses stem from a miscommunication between neurons. For example, the feel-good chemical of dopamine gives you a sense of pleasure. It helps keep you interested and allows you to focus and play. But too much of it can lead to addiction. Unstable amounts of schizophrenia and ADHD. The low levels of the chemical serotonin are associated with depression and OCD. That's why it's used in a variety of antidepressants. But the reality is, things aren't quite this controlled. There is no single cause of mental illness. It could be a combination of life experiences, family history, or chemical abnormalities in the brain. So understanding the circuitry may be the key to understanding mental health.
Alright, so I wanted to have shared that, and we're gonna get into the details. I don't want you to get caught up about those buildings. All he said is in the brain, and I have another picture that I'll show you. There are a couple parts of the brain that release hormones. And when things aren't going right, that hormone is just too much. And because it is too much, it causes challenges with our behavior. But we're going to go and delve in it some more. So from a biological standpoint, let me see the hands of those who knew their parents. Did you know your parents? Alright, let's see. You can put your hands down. Now, the first point is genetics. In other words, it is possible that your mother, or your mother, or your granny, or your great grandfather had some mental challenges. And then guess what now? Genetics. It passed all the way down. So it could be that it is in your genetic makeup. It makes you up, right? So that's one, biology, genetics. Infections, there are brain infections that can affect how the brain operates. You have persons who are born with brain defects. You have persons who meet an accident and their brain gets damaged. You have brain injury. There is prenatal damage. You're in labor, and the baby went into fetal distress. The baby never come out in time, so the baby has some challenges. Substance abuse, all this smoking, all this drinking can affect the brain. Chronic health conditions and other factors. In other words, biology itself can impact mental health. Notice I'm saying can, or building up to something. Environmental factors. You ever realize when somebody loses a loved one, and it comes in like it just mash them up? It just, them just come down to nothing. Sometimes they fall shortly after. No, that is a kind of stressor, which is an environmental factor that can trigger off a mental health condition. It can throw them into depression. Alright? There is divorce. Can you imagine? You build a life with this man, and then all of a sudden the man just thinks that the girl on the road just sexy and just left you. And the tell you said if you want tail spinning and you're everywhere for your foot, what's going to carry a cord and tie you up for almost years? If God not help you, you know, and if you don't have what they call protective factors, it leaves you prone to mental health issues. Alright, dysfunctional family life. You're born and you're about some, you live an antigen, then they send you down the road to your cousin, then they send you about to be able to live with somebody else, and then you do your exam and then they send you go at all. Dysfunctional family life, feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem, anxiety, anger, loneliness. Yeah? So you can have a couple married for years, and guess what? They have 4 kids and 4 kids and gone about their business now. Emptiness. And now we have emptiness. If you can't learn how to cope, it can also be a challenge. So we're talking about environmental factors. Social or cultural expectations. Now, my young ladies, all of a sudden, the boots are big enough. Like one and that boy on the road, man. You see me? I'm putting some bottom. So, I tell you, sir. So immediately, and then the males as well, trying to fit in. Peer pressure. Because everybody are doing it and now do it, my God. Pressure. Those kinds of pressures are known as environmental factors. Substance misuse. We grow in our family where every night the father go on a run bar. And when moving to the cup, he's not reaching yet. Those are called environmental factors. Substance misuse, that they have to burn and sleep every night before they go out there. Work and career stress. Yeah, some of us want to push and reach the top of the ladder. That is also an environmental factor. Social isolation, domestic violence. From your born and grown, the parent used to say your mother, your father used to beat her. Environmental factors, social isolation, and natural disaster. And we're seeing that in the western part of the island now with the recovery from Hurricane Melissa. Socio-economic factors, unemployment, so you have a job and then you lose it. And then you start stressed out, no work, low income. You don't get the education where your big brother did get. You don't get the education where your big sister did get. And because of that, you end up doing a little farming. You now make as much money as all them make a town. And then put you under a different pressure. Socio-economic factor. Debt. You know what it is now? You want to know what it is like. When the bank called and said, remember your credit card. Me no shame. Been there, done that. Yeah, one stress that. Homelessness. Can't pay a bill, house gone up for mortgage, you can't pay a mortgage, so the house gone up for auction, bless you, thank you. And then there is our house burned down, different stress, and then we spoke about that already, low or no education. Now, so far we have dealt with biological issues, we dealt with socio-economic issues, what was the other one? Environmental issues, bless you. So those are factors that can affect person's mental health. Now I want to put in the mix, let me see those who are parents. Any parents in the house? Okay, bless you. Yeah, all right. So parents, this one is especially for you. Especially if you have some young one and you still have time to bend the tree. The Lord bless you. Childhood experiences, and we're talking about those that occur before the age of 18. And I want to zero in on adverse childhood experiences. Adverse means bad, yeah? So it includes neglect, physical and psychological abuse, parental separation, incarceration, household substance misuse. These are considered to be harmful. And I want to pitch right here short for a while. So we have children, and we're growing our children, and we're doing the best that we can. But I want you to know that there are experiences that our children will have, and it can cause, and it can make them more predisposed to mental health issues. So I did a presentation at the last week before, and that presentation was called The Child Within. So I want you to think about you and your childhood experiences, right? Because what you encountered as a child influences who you are today.